Trump Latinos.
I got love for the Patriots loving me. Mega love, mega love.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airway.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that?
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in. But the queen rise to the top. Oh yeah, my true madness has got more to
Welcome to Legendary Project. I still haven't been deported. Maybe because I'm a man of many names. I might be Charles Johnson, John Bronson, Oscar Martinez, or Omar Swanson. I made a video before the election that nobody watched. So I'm doing a follow-up, and most likely nobody's going to watch.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I was concerned about all these Latino Trump supporters I was seeing around me. I felt powerless as Democrats continued to step on their own dicks. With campaign promises like protecting young African Americans' men's crypto investments and tax credits for first-time house flipping couples that drive electric cars. I might have made up the last one, but it sounds about what the weak-ass Democrats would do.
It's essentially a tax cut for starting a small business.
I try to remind folks that we all come from immigrants and how Republicans mostly look out for the rich. But another thing about Mexicans in Texas is that they all feel like temporarily broke millionaires. Some are even a little racist, especially the ones with the white first names. I don't know many Marias there are for Trump, but I do know some Michelles. Our labor has been exploited for centuries. Our land was stolen and our indigenous roots erased by colonization and genocide. Now we act like we're happy to be part of an empire that is destroying the rest of the world. But I do not blame Hispanic hogs for their actions. Some are groomed to believing that the right kind of brown person will always be accepted by white society. And the messed up part is that they will accept you if you're willing to be just as racist as they are.
Islam is the religion of incense and pedophilia. They bow down to a stupid rock and a false prophet. I will never let you be allowed.
Black people have a better sense of community and solidarity with each other. Some have problematic identity movements that believe that black capitalism is going to cure racism or some shit, which is mostly a psyop. But anyways, I'm staying out of black people's business. Black folks, for the most part, have done a good job passing down the knowledge. They've been here a long time, and they didn't have a choice. Kanye.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
Black folks have been getting fucked over by the same system for half a millennium, especially black women. A bunch of us are first-generation Americans and already forgot how we got here. How can a Hispanic person be so callous to migrants while also being so close to the struggle? Talking down on immigrants in broken English.
And in 2024?
Donald Trump.
I changed to Donald Trump that year.
Why did you choose Trump this time?
For me, security, immigration, this situation with immigration is out of control.
I kind of get it though. Not all Hispanics come here out of necessity. Some were just little greedy capitalists. White Cubans, I'm looking at you. Like hogs wouldn't call for their deportation if they got caught drinking and driving, which is like America's pastime, especially if you're a cop in Florida. You know, cops pound a few too many Coors Light after a long day of giving speeding tickets to folks who are running late to work. Again, hashtag, not all piggies. Just a good percentage of them. Do these hogs of color think about what's going to happen when they are done deporting undocumented people? When permanent residents and citizens are already being deported? The non-white citizens will be the first ones to go, or they'll throw us all in jail for so-called terrorist ties, for donating to children being starved and mutilated by American bombs. Fascists will never stop being fascists on their own. They must be defeated and dealt with accordingly. I'm a huge fan of how the Soviets handled fascists. We should never compromise with these fascists. I do not want to have a beer with Charlie Kirk. I want to have a fight to the death. These hogs call themselves Christians, but only worship the most falsest of idols. Give it a few decades, and if Baron Trump isn't our God King, Trumpism will be a fully tax-exempt religion at the very least.
Right.
It puts a holy fear in me.
Yeah.
You know, and
they're picking the flaws out of this man that God has chosen.
These folks are very afraid of Satan, but yet they worship the man that shows all the signs of being an antichrist. Revelations 3:18 and Revelations 3:3.
I am the chosen
Trump is
one.
exactly what the Republicans needed. A shameless con man that is greedy, selfish, and racist. The three main pillars of the Republican Party. Even in the mid-1800s, other than the radical Republicans like my guy John Brown, who did nothing wrong, by the way, the Republicans' problem with slavery was an economic one. The original plan was to send black people back to Africa if they ever had to be freed.
Your race suffer from living among us, while ours suffer from your presence. It is better for us both, therefore, to be separated.
Most Republicans didn't want to live amongst black people. Not much different in today's Republicans. If it wasn't for the fears of the British back in the Confederacy, they would have never added black emancipation to the Union's cause.
My paramount object in this struggle is to save the Union, and is not either to save or to destroy slavery.
Not much has changed. The Republicans are still racist. They just become a lot more Southern since the passage of the Civil Rights Act. Like, I don't think Trump is much more racist than your average wealthy white liberal who also won't rent to black people. There are people surrounding Trump that are truly diabolical, though. Don't get me wrong, Trump is a bad guy. Convicted of SA, a real piece of shit, you know. But this ghoul, Stephen Miller, is the real mastermind behind all of Trump's worst, most racist policies. This motherfucker is so repulsive that his wife found Elon Musk more appealing. Conservative politics have always been racist. They just used to hide it somewhat. Now, when you see a video of a little girl crying over her bricklayer dad getting deported, you see these animals down in the comments saying, yes, I voted for this. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Also, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, because, I mean, I'm sure you're making a lot of money. Is Mark Zuckerberg Satan? Or is Elon Satan? I don't know. Well, at least thanks to Elon, free speech is alive and well on Twitter, where a grown man with an anime avatar can call you the N-word. Party R, of course. Most of Trump's favorite Fox News personalities and billionaire buddies got a nice job in his administration. The BP was chosen by another white South African supervillain named Peter Thiel, who has actual blood boys, by the way. He is currently spying on you and getting paid by our government to do so. He also might or might not have thrown his boyfriend out the window. I don't know, allegedly. These billionaires are a lot like God. If God was evil and a white South African, I usually like to be pretty even-handed in my videos and also bring up my gripes with Democrats. But at this point, they're just so weak, I almost feel bad for them. Almost. In actuality, I feel bad for all the people they let down with their cowardliness.
We will win! We will win! We will win! We won't rest! We won't rest! We won't rest!
I feel horrible for the folks they helped slaughter in Palestine, the migrant and trans people who they are willing to throw under the bus, or the fact that my daughter is going to have less rights than her mother had. These Democrats had a chance to stop genocide. They had a chance to protect women's rights, and they did it. Because they care more about Israel than serving their biggest donors. And they will use that donor money to smear and silence a real leftist candidate. I remember when Bernie was on the verge of winning the primary, seeing Chris Matthews on MSNBC basically in tears, saying that the left was going to execute him in the middle of Central Park. Now, not all Democrats are bad, just the majority. In an unjust world, they would have been born as the cockroaches that they truly are. I really like Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. They must be protected at all costs. The lobbyists for Israel are getting funded on multiple fronts, from weapon and tech companies with financial ties to that terrorist state, to evangelicals who want Jesus to come back to Israel and send all the non-believers to hell.
Israel did not happen in 1948 by an act of the United Nations. Israel was born by an eternal covenant God made with Abraham in Genesis 12. This is going to become a reality in the millennial reign when Jesus Christ rules the world from Jerusalem with a rod of iron. God's not saying, let's make a deal. He's saying, this is the deal. This is the property they have. This is Israel right now. And this is what will happen whenever the Messiah comes back. It will be a massive land grant.
In the first video I made, I talked about why Republicans are worse. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you to vote for Kamala. Shit, I didn't want to vote for Kamala myself. I was furious at all the carnage in Gaza. I had seen too many dead babies on the timeline, you know? I couldn't tell you to vote for that, even knowing that Trump will be way worse to so many more people. Not just the Palestinians.
This photograph shows the parish priest, Father Gabriel Romanelli, originally from Argentina, being treated for a leg wound. Catholics around the world became familiar with the Gazan church because of its close relationship with the late Pope Francis. A pontiff who spoke out on global issues, he faithfully checked in on the welfare of the priest and his community every night at 7 p.m.
I wanted to at least tell you why you shouldn't vote for the Republicans, but I couldn't give you a real reason to vote for the Democrats. Kamala spent more time hugging Liz Cheney than talking to a single Palestinian person. I just hope they get their shit together, but most likely they won't. Expect them to try to crown Gavin Newsom, Charlie Kirk's homeboy, and relentlessly criticize and suppress in the real leftist movement. Shit, they might try to bring back Hillary Clinton, you never know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if these motherfuckers lose to Kid Rock in 2028. Republicans tend to prefer candidates who grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth and pretend to be a man of the people. And yet somehow these soft-ass Gentiles keep getting the vote of the most rugged people out there. It makes sense when you think about how well-funded right-wing media is. The folks they hire, they're passionate about their shitty views. While Democrats fund mouthpieces that were or will become a Republican at some point. Now that I've properly shitted on the Democrats, the Republicans are going to destroy this country. I don't really want that to happen. Although it would be better for the rest of the world if America did not exist. I'm a Mexican, so I will abandon this sinking ship if things get rough. I've always preferred the motherland anyway.
We could use some more loyalty, I will tell you that.
He just wants to make as much money as he can. And he would take it from anyone, including Mexican cartels and my guys over in Qatar. He got almost $250 million from Israel lobbyists alone, that we know of. That's why he's never going to release the Epstein files.
Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent working for a foreign country, setting up shop, getting blackmail on everybody. Singers, actors, politicians, everybody under the sun, maybe even a sitting president. Adam, I don't know. He visited the White House. Let's just say that. Yep. They take all that footage, have men, traffic children, women, men, kids, whatever, have sex with these people, have all the footage, have all the files. So then, Adam, once they're all gone, you can use it for policy, make this law to affect our policy, okay?
Well, that and the fact that he might be implicated in those Epstein files. I do feel Trump is different from other Republicans, at least. Republicans in the past did all they could to protect capital. Trump will sell the damn capital for the right price. All that ill-gotten wealth go directly to his Trump's pockets, which I really don't care since I can appreciate a good lick. I am pro-crime after all. I understand Trump's motives. And other than the immense pain, death, and destruction that he is causing with his actions, I think the shameless corruption is kind of funny. Trump is like the most American president if you think about it. Republicans always looked out for the wealthiest capitalists. That never changes. Just like when they gave my mom amnesty because they needed her labor.
Why don't we work out some recognition of our mutual problems, make it possible for them to come here legally with a work permit, and then while they're working and earning here, they pay taxes here.
And they knew that any kids that these immigrants will have can also be used for the labor. And they made sure that by underfunding the schools and communities where poor Hispanic and Black people live. Biggie said, "If you swinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot." Most chavalas top out at 5'9", so no jump shot was going to get us out the hood. The lucky ones are folks like me, who served capitalists to the day we die. Although I am luckier than most. Shout out to my wife. Every Trump supporter is not a piece of shit. Some of these folks are just mentally ill and tired of their material conditions and need something or someone to blame. They fell for the lies of a narcissistic confidence man that secretly hates them. The old Republicans go along with the agenda because they are also wealthy or racist. Shit, probably both. Wealthy liberal politicians like to act like they care and immediately cave to all their fascist demands, especially when they are threatened by the same political machine they also serve. Every president wants to be loved like Ronald Reagan was, well, at least by white people. Joe Brandon went as far as getting dementia for the role.
Everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
These cats may not have the approval numbers that Reagan had, but they are just as evil, old, and bloodthirsty. They deserve to be right there next to Reagan, burning in hell. Well, that's it for today. Be sure to show some disrespect to your local ICE agents. And if you want to see me, I'm hiding out somewhere in the streets of Dallas.
Dallas, a top 10 city.